We'll end up getting them back after the end Marie gets here. On this side here, we have some of our working fume hoods. We'll run reactions on here.
We need to think very seriously about
Getting undergraduates involved in any kind of research is incredibly important because it exposes the real world of it. You can't just walk through an academic building and understand the complexities that go into it. You have to be fully immersed in it, and it's incredibly important for students to see that. It is phenomenal. I mean, the amount that you learn in such a small period of time is unheard of.
Pulls a vacuum on it and boils it so that you get all the vapor to come over it.
Research in general is important because it helps us push the boundaries of knowledge. We discover new things and we generate new knowledge through research. Sometimes us as professors we're a bit jaded, or we are just used to some things, or we take some things for granted. And then a student comes along, and sometimes that's the way to unlock new things. Or they come up with questions that maybe I never thought of for whatever reason. So I do think that they bring a lot of new perspectives that are very useful.
See, right there, that is exactly.
This is how science is done.
Yes.
Looking at colored liquids.
Yes.
When you're working at a place like K,
You can tell because there's.
what I like is that I have the ability to train my students.
So this one add the palladium chloride, and then add the stir and the reflux condenser, and you're gonna work in that hood.
32.
This is connected to, I don't know, the back. It's always nice to hear that you're doing things right.
My specific role as a researcher here in Dr. Dar's lab is I am working on a project to synthesize manganese coordination compounds. This project is looking at how manganese is interacting with different types of ligands, all with the goal of figuring out a sustainable alternative to other rare metals in light-driven applications like solar energy conversion. I work with Max, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah, your reaction was priceless. I was like looking at that side of, oh no. So everyone did their best French accent. It was quite amusing.
That actually sounds great.
My lab is interested in developing molecules that can absorb energy from light and transform that energy into electricity.
We need to. What is it?
4.8.
Oh, all right. What was what?
4.8.
The kind of work that we do here in this group has quite a few implications. Solar energy is predominantly hinged on these same systems that we study, but honestly, the ones that we have right now, they're not as efficient as they could be. They're expensive, they're hard to fix, but overall our goal is to get these cheaper metals and these easily synthesized ligands to a place where they can be applied in numerous different settings.
Do I think that in the next 5 years we're going to discover the new molecule that's going to revolutionize the field? No, I don't, but maybe we get lucky, you never know. But I do think that we are going to help make steps in that direction.
I think another big domain that I've learned about, specifically being involved with Dr. Dar's lab, is the importance of science culture.
Andre the Giant?
I think that something that's very commonly overlooked in lots of sciences in general is that there's this very make it or break it culture, and you're on your own kind of culture. And I think that Dr. Dar does a really good job of looking at people like they're humans, and they have value beyond their output.
Very important, very useful starfish.
The process of research takes a really, really long time, and you end up learning an incredible amount along the way, but not all of it always applies to the final goal you had in mind. You can't go into it thinking that I'm just going to go from A to B to C, because you're going to go to A to K to Z, back to A, over to E, and then you might get on the path, or you might not, and you have to reevaluate. That is one of the most important things that working in research has taught me, is that failure is okay, you can move on from it, but what you have to do is learn from it.
Clear enough to see?
So honestly, having students in the lab not only helps, again, push the boundaries of knowledge and do new things, but it also helps keep me excited. I'm reminded of how amazing it is that I get to do research and that I get to do science. It's pretty cool.
And that's kind of how research is. You have a tree planted. That's almost like the final product of your research that you present. What you don't see underneath the soil is that those roots expand all across.